to record. Hi, everybody. Today is Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, 2022, and this is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. So we're going to start in the regular fashion with our warm-up sequence, warm up and cool down, actually. So just starting with your legs up the wall, up on a chair, which, by the way, can help with venous insufficiency. Put your feet and legs higher than your heart. We're going to be here for 7 minutes. And just start to notice your breath.
I would.
Stay where you are. Put your tongue on the top of the roof of your mouth. Curl it. And then slowly move your head from side to side. And whenever you're ready, come back to center or vagus nerve reset without moving anything but your eyeballs. Move your eyeballs to the right, eyes open or closed. Wait there until you experience a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. When you're done, come back to center and go to the other side. Shift only your eyeballs, don't move anything else. To the left, wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Whenever you're ready, come back to center and do 2 more sets without my cueing. Right, left, at your own pace. Kathy's going to tell me when she's done. That'll be our marker, but you take your own time. Okay, finish up. And the next thing we're going to do is head ramping 6 times. So Kathy's going to put her head on a sponge ball. Listen to your own body and listen to the reminder that I gave you a couple weeks ago about finding balance here. You need to load your muscles. You can't overload them. So press back, press the occipital ridge back into the floor of the ball, or if you're seated, just back behind you. And then release and do that 5 more times. And now breath work. We're going to do rib cage breathing. Just put your hands, wrap your hands around your rib cage. Your fingers are towards your belly, your thumbs toward the floor. And on your inhale, feel the expansion of the rib cage into your hands. And then on the exhale, feel the shrinking of the rib cage away from your hands. And do that 5 more times. And if you want to, you can make a little purse your mouth as you exhale. And blow. Finish up and get ready for hypopressives. You're going to push your chair away from you, or you're going to push away from your chair, whichever is easiest for you. Bend your knees, but know that we're going to extend the legs. So make sure you have enough room to extend your legs in a minute. So the knees are bent, the heels are on the floor, the toes are up with the ankle or the foot dorsiflexed. Bring your arms over your chest as if you're hugging a tree. Flip your hands and then press your hands toward the ceiling and your scapula towards the floor. 3 breaths, 3 ordinary breaths. Inhale. If you want to, you can blow out or when you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. All the way out. Hold your belly out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, the arms come down, and exhale, the feet come down. Extend your legs. Cross your right ankle over your left. Bring your arms up in the same fashion over your chest. Now stack your hands. So left hand on top, and then bring your arms overhead. Straighten your arms if you can. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. You can purse your lips and blow out. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale. Arms come down. Exhale, uncross your legs, and then cross them over to the other side. Left ankle over right ankle. Bring your arms up. Stack with your right hand on top and bring your arms overhead. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale. Arms come down. Exhale. On the legs come untangle. And now go ahead and bend your knees wide, and just as a transition, wide windshield wipers lying down. See how far down you can get. This is one of my most favorite moves right now. either supine or actually in a seated position. And now, whenever you're ready, that was just a transition move. Come up to a seated, floor seated position for our side bend, spine twist, and then we'll do seated wide windshield wipers, or if you can't be seated, do them seated, you can come back down to supine. We're gonna be here for, hold on, 30 seconds. No, 40. Let's do 40. So let's do 40. It's easier. Actually, I'm going to do 20. All right. Take your right arm along the mat, other arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor. Become aware of your breath and your movement and the shape you're taking. What's happening here? Thoracic side bend. And then go ahead and bring your elbow forward for the last half of the pose. And come on up. And torso up. Other side, left arm out, right arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor. Breathe, become aware of both your breath and your movement. Where am I in time and space? And go ahead and take your elbow forward for the last half of the pose. Elbow up, torso up. Go ahead and we'll do the spine twist. Left hand, switch your legs, switch the cross of your legs. Put your left hand on your right knee, bring your right arm behind you, spider fingers as far as you can. You have three, as you know, you have three options. Well, the first option is not an option. You're just going to stay in your spine twist and enjoy it. But then you can add on either rotating your head from left to right or shifting your rib cage from side to side. And slowly return, unravel. Other side, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Sit tall, spinal rotation to the left. And either of your add-ons if you choose. Always with awareness of where you are in space, proprioception, and then also breath. Come on back to center. Bring your legs up so your knees are bent and your feet on the floor in front of you. This is for wide seated windshield wipers. If you can't move your knees from side to side here, come down onto your back supine and do this same movement. Windshield wipers, side to side, seated or supine. Go wide so you can drop your knees all the way down. Finish up. And come up to, let's see what I've got next here. Come up to standing, walk around the room. And get ready for neuro balls. Standing foot release with the neuro balls. But first, I want you to walk around first because we're going to walk around later. After a series of foot and ankle work. And you can see if there's a difference. Okay, first we're going to start with the right foot. Your neuro ball is in half. You're going to use a half of one. And position one, as you all know, is up near the metatarsal mound. We're going to do 30 seconds each. Remember, in any of these where it's available, you can curl your toes and spread them as an add-on. But the main gig here is the neuro ball against the bottom of the foot. This is the beginning of our foot and ankle work. Okay, next, number 2 in the middle. This should be good for you, Diana, for your plantar fasciitis.
But be gentle.
But be gentle. Listen to your body. "30 seconds. Wiggle your toes or squeeze them and open them if you want. Optional add-on. Position number 3 is on the calcaneus or at the seam, just at the beginning of the calcaneus, which is the heel bone, which doesn't have much range of motion, but loves to be nurtured with neuro balls. Position number 4, come back up to the center and go to the outside of the foot. You may want to tilt your foot a little bit to the outside. 30 seconds. Go across the center of the foot to the inside edge of the foot in the center, 30 seconds. So you may want to lean a little bit into the outer inside edge of the foot. These inside and outside edges could be a little bit sensitive. And come on back. The final movement position is up towards the big toe mound. Position number 6. Okay. Switch feet. Left foot. Position number 1. Just at the metatarsal mound. 30 seconds. You can curl your toes and spread them. Your toes will love you for that extra tension. Anything we can do to our toes and for our toes and ankles, wiggling them is a good thing. Move down to the second position, which is right smack dab in the center of the foot. Number 3, at the on the calcaneus or just before the calcaneus at the seam. Your choice, because teachers vary. Teacher opinions vary on this. Okay, let's see what's next. Come up to the center and to the outside edge of the foot. And we want to lean into the outside edge a little bit, but don't fall over. Breathing and aware of breath and where you are, where your foot is. What are you doing? Go across to the inside edge of the foot. And the very last one is just move up that side of the foot to the big toe mound. And there you have it. The last movement of the foot release series. Okay. Now we're going to do some more footwork on your mat. So if you have a yoga mat anywhere, you're going to move down the yoga mat in a shuffle. Let me see if I can add a spotlight. You're just going to shuffle down the mat or down the floor. Shuffle.
I'm like in the twist.
It's a little bit like the twist. And stop when you need to, but you can go back, come back up the mat also. That's the first one we're going to do. And when you're finished with the shuffle, we're going to do the heel walk. So all you're going to do is walk down the mat on your heels. Lift your toes, on the heels. Yep.
It's like you've just done your toenails and you need to walk somewhere.
Right. This is good practice for post pedicure. Walk all the way down the end of your mat and all the way back. And now walk on your toes. Up and down. And do that one more time. Down to one end of the and back. And now we're going to do what we always do, heel and toe lifts, and then with the therapy ball. So that's, Kathy has to get, I think, just heel and toe lifts that you usually do. And do this. Let's do this timed for 30 seconds. You know, as you probably have already figured out, you can either count or you can time, either one. Whatever is easiest for you. If you have a Apple Watch like I do, it's really nice to time. All of this work on the feet is good for balance, and it's good for venous, to correct venous insufficiency, insufficient circulation coming up your legs. Done. And now put a therapy ball, not a neuro ball, but a therapy ball between your ankles as far back as you can get, and we'll do heels and toes again. This time, this therapy ball guarantees activation of the core. So it just is an add-on, another add-on, adding on core work. As you do the heel and toe lifts. Oops. Okay, stop that. Let's do short foot for 30 seconds. So you're standing with one foot in front of the other. So, you know, in a split stance, it's called split stance short foot. You can do short foot with parallel feet too, actually, but we're going to do a split stance. Right foot forward. You're going to lift your toes. And then you're going to lower your toes. Be sure not to curl them. Just lower them flat and press them softly onto the floor. We're going to be here for 30 seconds. What you want to be sure you're doing is that the toes don't bend or curl. They're flat. And you can actually reach down there if you want, or you could be seated in doing this. Reach down there and press your toes so they're flat. They're flat, but you should feel an arch, a little contraction of the plantar arch. This should be good for you, Diana, too. And it's something you can do in your shoes, out of your shoe, wearing shoes, no shoes, standing at the grocery store line. Let's go to the other side. Left foot forward. And this is really great to prevent and cure plantar fasciitis. So lift your toes, drop your toes, keep them flat, and stay here and breathe. And you hopefully what you find is how I have to put some pressure. So I put the pressure that allows you to feel the contraction in the plantar fascia arch. Plantar arch, I guess it is. And let's move on to balancing on one foot. We're going to balance on one foot for 1 minute, or you can stop early if you want to, or you can hold on to something for part of it. So left foot is the standing leg, right foot is lifted. Balance. If you have to touch something, that's okay. This is a practice. You'll get better at it the more you do it. We're here for 1 minute. It's a big ask. The longer you can stand on one foot, the longer you will live, they say. Scientists say. We have 17 minutes to go, so
17 minutes?
17 seconds. I would never have you stand for an hour on one foot. Or a half an hour. Nothing like that. Come on down and switch legs. Timing for 1 minute. Remember that you don't have to stay here that whole time. Get really good at this, you can find you have a partner that also gets really good at this. You can stand on one leg and throw a ball, catch a ball between you. And there are other things you can do, but the easiest thing to do is increase your time. So after you've gotten good at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Four seconds. Okay, let's go to seated. We're going to do some seated foot and ankle work. You're going to need a small towel or a washcloth for one of the moves.
Or a strap. Would a strap work?
No, not really.
Oh, found one. Okay.
Sit in your chair. This
Oh,
is a chair seated. I'm sorry, I said seated, but I should have said chair seated because of my propensity to do floor seated. Chair seated, dorsiflexion. So your feet are out in front of you and you move your toes towards your face and hold. So you hold for about 6 seconds and then you repeat about 6 times. Dorsiflexion, both feet. Do both feet at the same time, Kathy. Yep. dorsiflexion, toes toward the nose, hold for a count of 6, release, and then do it again. I want you to do 6 times. So I'm gonna have to hurry if we're gonna get done with all my whole series here. It's the hold that counts.
Your feet or toes up?
Your toes are up, your heels are on the floor.
Oh, heels on.
Heels on the floor, toes are up towards the face or the nose. And hold for 6 seconds. Okay. Whenever you're finished, put a towel underneath your toes, your feet, in front of your, at your feet, underneath your feet, and scrunch. Use your toes to scrunch the towel.
Okay,
And
hold on.
let's see if Kathy can. Both feet, big towel,
2 towels. Oh,
maybe 2 towels. If you just have a washcloth, maybe you need 2.
okay.
But all you're doing is scrunching with your toes. Just scrunch and scrunch, and we're just going to do this for 30 seconds. Scrunch both feet are scrunching the towel. And there's no place to go. It's just the scrunch that counts. You're not trying to necessarily, the towel doesn't move, or maybe it does move. Maybe you get more of the towel underneath your toes, but it really doesn't matter. What matters is that you're using the towel as a tool to scrunch your toes. Okay, done. Now, set aside the towel, bring your right knee forward, and then bring your right knee forward towards your face and cross your ankle over your other leg. Toe handshake. So put your fingers between the toes and shake. And also while you're here, you can make a circle with your ankle circles. That's just ankle circles 6 times one direction and 6 times in the other direction. This should feel really good. With your toes, love this. And that's probably 6 times. And switch to the other side. So unravel, left leg on right knee, handshake. So the fingers go between the toes. And now circle the ankle. On my left side, I'm getting a cramp. Doing this. So if you're cramping, slow way down. I think moving is good for cramping, but you want to slow it down and figure out what's happening. I don't know whether I told you on the last one to go both directions, but I hope you did go both directions on the ankle circles.
Good.
The last thing we're going to do in this foot series is the Z Health ankle rotation series, which I'm kind of fond of. And it's in a chair in a seated position, although you could do it standing. We're going to start with the right foot, and the right foot is forward. And then what you do 6 times side to side. So rock side to side, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now your foot goes to the outside. Keep your heel where it is and take your foot to the outside. And now do another 6 times side to side with your foot to the outside. This may be a little more awkward. Feet on the floor, because later we're going to lift our toes. Bring it back. The foot goes slightly to the inside, it's still forward, flat, and side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come back to center. This time we're going to do all of that with the toes lifted. So the foot is forward, toes are lifted, side to side, 6 times. Stop, take it to the outside, toes lifted, side to side. Come back to center, to the inside, lift your toes, side to side. Come back to center. This time, you're gonna do the whole thing, all 3 with your toes curled, squeezed. Squeeze your toes and foot is still forward. I'm gonna get cramps on my toes doing this one. Maybe you will too. What I'm doing is I'm still trying to do it best I can, but I'm also paying attention to my poor little toes that are cramping. Come back to center, go to the outside, shift the foot. The heel stays there, right? The heel stays in place. Turn the foot to the outside, curl your toes, and side to side. Yeah, my I don't know about your little toes, but my little toes don't like this. So that means it's probably really good for them. And come back to center, go to the inside, curl your toes side to side 6 times. Okay, you can wiggle your toes. Switch to the other side. First, the foot is flat, and you go side to side 6 times. Your knee moves too, you know. And then go to the outside, foot to the outside. 6 times, side to side. You're just basically rolling your foot side to side. And then come back to center, then all the way to the inside, flat foot still, side to side. Come back to center. This time we do this whole series with all 3 of those movements with your toes lifted, starting with forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop, go take your foot to the outside. Lift your toes 6 times, side to side. And come on back. And to the inside, toes lifted, side to side 6 times. And come on back. The last series is with the toes curled. So foot forward, toes curled, side to side. And then go to the outside, curl your toes and side to side. And come on back, go to the inside, curl your toes side to side. All right. Let's finish up. Come up to standing and walk around and check it out. walk around and see if there's any difference in the way you walk. Retest, post test. Remember how it felt earlier? How does it feel now? And let's see, well, because we only have a few minutes left, let's come into a squat, a resting squat. So you may want a brick to do this. You maybe want to be on a brick. And we're just going to rest here for, we're going to do it for 2 minutes. If I can find my timer, obviously it's going to be more than 2 minutes here. Because I can't find my time. There, let's do 3 minutes. Well, or else. So remember, you could be sitting on a brick. And yeah, good. Parvin, I see you're with your back on the chair. I think that's good for you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because that gives you some stability that you might not otherwise have.
It's my balance.
This is a resting pose, you guys. This is a resting pose. It may not feel resting right now, but as you get better at it, it's a resting pose. I know that when I'm standing in line at the airport and I get tired of standing, I drop into a squat. It's much more of a resting pose than standing. Standing is not a resting pose. You're loading all of your spine. You're not loading your spine here. You're taking the weight on in your hips. Okay, slowly come out of that. Find your way onto your back with your knees bent or your legs extended for Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation and closing the class. I'm going to, remove the spotlight. "61-point guided meditation, beginning with awareness of breath. So just start to watch your abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. And then bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, fifth ankle, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs and bring your arms overhead and start to stretch in both directions, trying to create a little more space between the rib cage and the pelvis. Right side of the body, left side of the body, both sides of the body. Stretch, 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 and then start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then rotate your wrists and your ankles in one direction and then in the other. And then go ahead and hug your right knee to your chest. Thank you, knee. And then extend your leg along the mat. Hug your left knee into your chest. Thank you, knee. I say thank you to knees because knees are so, do so much for us and they're so vulnerable. Thank you, knee. And then go ahead and extend that leg. Both knees, hug to your chest. This is a totally different movement. Rock from side to side, releasing the lower back and massaging the organs. And do this a couple more times. And then whenever you're ready, roll to your side for our gratitude minute. Find your gratitude. There's an unlimited number of things to be grateful for, including an unlimited number of things to be grateful for about your practice, your yoga practice today. Thank you. I'm grateful that you joined me and shared my movement practice today. And now go ahead and bring yourself up to a floor-seated position. I'm going to remove the spotlight. I'm going to start my video. Bring your hands to your heart, prayer pose. Press strongly first to find the back of your upper body, rhomboids, scapula. And then soften your prayer pose. And lift your occipital ridge away from your shoulders so that you can roll the skull forward in a nod and a bow. Noticing that each of us is a light. And noticing that we're all one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Good class.